Queen ShanShan, and this is a broadcast podcast. Is your backyard looking janky? Does your front yard need a facelift? Trust, I hear ya. Mine did, and I got mine done at RB Paving and Landscape just a couple of months ago. This is a contractor you really can trust. Call them for a free quote. Ask for Ruben or Priscilla at 760-947-4191. RB Paving and Landscape specializes in all asphalt, concrete, and landscape needs. They serve the greater Los Angeles areas, San Bernardino County, and high desert areas. Call them today and tell them Queen ShanShan sent you. Hunty! Broads! Hey, girl, hey. This is your girl, Queen ShanShan, and welcome to a true, brand new episode of A Broadcast Podcast. And I am so excited to be back! Woohoo! I'm home, hunty! How are you, Edward?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you back safely.
Oh, thank you.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
112th floor?
112th floor.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did it. I lived it. We'll get into that in a minute. It was awesome. We had actually 3 pre-taped episodes for you guys in May while I was on vacation in Asia in May. And they were great episodes, weren't they, Edward?
They were great. I really had a lot of time, a good time working on them.
Yeah. Robert, who is a sought-after real estate agent in LA, he was conquering his goal. As a matter of fact, he's actually doing it as we speak. I think this is his 4th day.
He's huffing and puffing down the coast.
He is doing the LA AIDS and HIV ride for that amazing charity right now from San Francisco to LA on a bicycle.
Wow. Good luck with that.
545 miles.
I couldn't do it.
Good luck, Robert.
Yes.
I could never.
All the luck in the world.
Can you imagine my butt would be on fire?
Oh, no. It's not happening.
Oh, it's not
and
happening.
Not in a good way.
No!
Not in a good way.
Not a good way. Mm-hmm. So he's completing his task, and so we just want to say good luck, Robert. We wish you the best as you complete this huge personal goal for yourself. And by the way, he reached his goal of over $16,000.
What?
He raised personally $16,000 for it.
That is amazing.
Amazing.
Congrats to you.
Yeah, good job, Robert. We also had Kirk Green, another good friend of mine, who is a home stager and home decorator, and we chatted what it was like to work in the industry like that, and he had actually funny stories, right?
Oh my God, I laughed so hard at that episode. I listened to it over and over.
Me too. When I was on the plane, I listened to that thing I think 4 times.
He's so funny.
Yeah, Kirk's a good guy, and he had really good, interesting stories about being a home stager, being a home decorator, things that we always would wonder what's really going on in our neighbors' homes, right? And he exposed some of that, and he had that great surprise with the song that he wrote and sang for us.
Didn't you love that?
I loved it.
Oh, it was so pretty.
Kirk, you have a really good voice.
Kirk, you do have a really good voice, and it's never too late.
Never too late, honey.
Yeah.
You could be the next, Barry Manilow or something.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
All right, I'll be his manager.
I'll be his Bette Midler.
Okay. You're his Bette Midler.
Okay. What do you call it? Playing the bathhouses.
You don't flowers anymore. Oh, that's Barbara Streisand.
That's Barbara Streisand.
That's Barbara. Okay, sorry, Babs.
I'm not sure who that is. Actually.
Yeah. And then we had, oh my God, speaking of hilarity, Vincente Luna.
Oh, he's killing me. Killing me.
He took over the show. He took over the podcast, and everybody's been talking about that podcast and saying how funny he is, and he truly is, you guys. He's really like that. Vincente is like the next Robin Williams. He's just off the cuff, very witty, very funny, and I really enjoyed listening to that episode a lot.
You know what my favorite part of the interview was?
What?
When he said that he had fully intended to kill you in Paris.
To white single female me. I know. I'm still into Heather when she was here this weekend, and we were talking about it. I said, he said that he was going to single white female me. I thought that was hilarious.
Hilarious.
So thanks, Vicente, thanks, Kirk, and thanks, Robert, for being amazing guest co-hosts. But we are a brand new week. We're back to the gig. We're back to working it out. And I'm just so excited to be here. On this episode, we're going to talk about my latest excursion.
Can't wait to hear about it. She's literally told me very little. So this is...
On purpose.
On purpose for the show.
Yep.
So this is a first.
Yeah. So I went to Hong Kong, I went to India, and I went to the Maldives, and I went back to Hong Kong for a couple of days. So I was gone for about 17 days. So we'll discuss that whole situation. I met up with a group in India. It was a singles travel group called singlesinparadise.com. You guys look them up. They're amazing excursions. India, very interesting.
Can't wait to hear.
Yeah. Maldives, fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
And Hong Kong, right up my alley.
Oh my gosh.
Highfalutin.
Made for you.
Made for me. Like, I can see why people like to visit Hong Kong.
Right.
A great, great city.
There's no inconveniences. Everything is
kidding me?
right there.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. So we'll get into that. We're also going to talk about our girl, Madonna.
Yes, there's a lot happening. So
there's a lot happening. Some tea that needs to be spilled about Madonna. She had an article written by her by a really well-known writer from the New York Times, and she was disappointed.
She was. We'll discuss.
We'll discuss. So we have all this and much more on this next episode. So stay tuned, broads. Edward, I'm hungry.
I'm always hungry.
What do you feel like having for dinner today?
Always pizza.
Ma's Italian Kitchen.
Boom.
Let's look them up. They're in Burbank, California.
Oh, easy.
You ready to go?
Yes.
Ma'sItalianKitchen.com and tell them Queen ShanShan sent ya. Before we catch up and continue with my stuff that's happening with me, Edward, hello.
Hello. Konnichiwa. When it's the wrong language, right?
That's Japanese.
Oh, it's Japanese. I'm
Ni
sorry.
hao is hello in China.
Ni hao.
In Chinese or Mandarin
Ni
or
hao?
Cantonese. Yeah, ni hao.
And what is it in India?
I don't. Oh, in India?
Yeah.
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
They spoke English, right? Proper English.
They didn't. Well, the English in India, they're very. It's it's still
British.
muddled.
Yeah.
British-ish, but
Uh-huh.
still Indian. You can tell it's Indian accent.
Right.
But Hong Kong, everybody speaks English mostly.
Oh, well
Yeah,
then,
it's
whatever
interesting.
you say in India, greetings
Yes,
to you.
I should have researched that.
That's all right.
Dang
It's
it.
off the cuff.
It's off the cuff. But so how are you, and what have you been up to while I was gone?
Goodness. Well, I have been kind of just getting reacquainted with myself.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but
It's never a bad way getting acquainted with yourself.
I always have to be doing something, me, and
Yeah.
it's like when I'm not doing this, I got to do something else, So, in my spare time, I've been researching things, and I think you remember I started a fashion line a few years ago,
Yes.
and kind of sidebarred it for now, and after having that show with Andrea, she kind of reignited the flame and the passion. And so I'm kind of starting to get back into that, doing some research and seeing what I'm going to do next.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, so it's like I'm excited about it. So good things to come.
So we're not going to tell the broads what this new venture is because you want to keep the people guessing.
Right, exactly. So it will be what I was doing with scarves and accessories and men and women and some
rings,
jewelry,
and
a ring.
Yeah.
But I have something else that I want to kind of focus on and, develop over the next few years and see if I can get it going as well.
Well, we're going to definitely wish you luck. Will you be a sponsor for the Abroad podcast?
For show. Yes, of course.
You heard it here, folks.
That's right. With all that investor money that I'm going to get out there, all you angels, send me some love.
Send Edward some love on his new business.
Yeah. So we'll
Excursion.
see. Yeah. I can't say a lot right now because I'm under like a NDA.
Of course.
Not really. I'm not. I'm just trying to sound bougie. But because it's my company, I'm going to sign myself.
You're just signing yourself your own NDA.
But yeah, it's a passion that I've been following for a long time, and I'm just kind of getting my groove back.
We're going to keep the broads guessing and panting and wanting for more.
Yeah. So what's going on? I hear something happened in TV while you were gone or something.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. There was a big show that had a finale or something.
Oh my God. Game of Thrones. I saw it the other... You don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
I'm not a throner.
You're not a throner?
I don't know if that's a thing. I just made it up.
I don't know if it is a thing.
But
yeah, and unfortunately, because I was overseas, I saw everybody's comments, and apparently the feedback was not positive.
I was like, okay, are you all these unpositive reviews? Are all of you MFers going to get into TV and make TV now?
Okay.
Because I don't think you know what it takes to make a TV show.
There was 50,000 signatures to petition HBO to redo season 8.
And probably ain't none of them been out of their parents' basement. No.
If you guys have that much energy to sign a petition to HBO, 50,000 of you, y'all better vote in 2020.
For sure.
And get this fool out of office.
For sure.
Okay, because that kind of energy needs to be sent to something else than a dang TV show made up of nothing but fiction.
For sure.
I didn't think the episode was that bad. I knew... No, we're going to... Hey, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Dany dies. Jon Snow kills her. I knew that was going to happen. I knew Tyrion Lannister was going to live and be the new hand. Now, I didn't know... Now, you guys, Game of Thrones people, I didn't think Bronn was going to be the king. I thought it was either going to be Arya, or I thought it was going to be Jon Snow. But Bronn, I know, I'm looking at.
I don't know what all these words mean. I'm looking at someone with
the deer in headlights look right now.
Yeah, they mean something.
Bronn is a child who was pushed out of the window by Jaime Lannister because he was having sex with his sister.
Okay, I did watch the first season and
that was the first 2 or 3 episodes, I think.
Right.
So he makes Bronn. So Bronn's a paraplegic, basically,
okay, yes.
And then Bronn is now the what's his eagle, the third eye something.
Is that the kid with the wolves?
That the kid, yes.
Oh, love.
Yes, he was a kid with the wolves and everything, and so now he's this soothsayer. Okay. He can see the future. He can see what's going on, and because he has a mild manner, the whole lords of the realm voted him to be the king.
Okay.
Okay, so he's the king, and then Sansa, his sister, is now the queen of the North.
Okay.
She's an independent. The queen, the Stark, that whole area is their own independent territory. So they're not rung, or they're not, Bronn will not be ruling over that.
So they're like Switzerland.
You got it. They're like Geneva.
Okay,
right.
Geneva.
Right.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And then Arya, the little sister, the little rebellious one, she's on a quest to see the west of Westeros.
Okay.
No one knows what goes beyond. I want to go to Westeros, but she wants to go west of Westeros.
Okay.
So she wants to see what's going on the other side of the world.
It's like the other side of the Rocky Mountains,
right?
Basically.
Which is leading to the big rumor mill that she's probably going to head off a new spinoff series.
Okay.
Of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Which makes total sense.
She's
going to discover a new world, new characters, new dragons, maybe, new monsters, maybe.
Ooh, that'd be good.
New lands to conquer, new princesses to kill.
Right.
So that would be exciting. I'd watch that show in 2 seconds.
So if they didn't use dragons, because they don't want to be redundant, I guess, on the show, what would they use as another mystical creature? What
this is very it's very Hobbit. It's very medieval times. So instead of maybe dragons, maybe she'll find unicorns. I don't know.
Right, that's a good one.
Maybe some sort of mythological beast that they'll make up. Something maybe Nordic wise, because the whole Nordic Celtic legends have their own monsters and beasts
that they made up. And
I'd watch it.
How about like Loch Ness or something?
Maybe a Loch Ness. There you go. There could be a Loch Nessie.
Loch Nessie that flies.
There you go.
It's got 3 heads.
Oh my God. HBO, hire me. I'm done. HBO, you got your new writer, you got your new producer.
We're going to pitch next week. Get our office ready.
We are advertisers, and now we write for HBO.
Exactly.
Done.
Do it all.
And that's your recap of Game of Thrones. So I had the ultimate pleasure of going to Asia, Edward, and it is a trip that I've always wanted to take. I travel with a company called SinglesInParadise.com. Hi Ed, hi Amy, are you listening? I'm definitely giving you a plug here. I've been traveling with them for the last 6 years, since 2013. And because of this company, I've traveled really all over the world.
I mean, how many miles, if you had to quantify?
I think I'm over 1 million.
Jeez.
I think
that's
maybe.
Amazing.
All I know is that I was bumped up to business class. So that's what matters. It was awesome.
That's all that matters.
Oh, this is a huge plug. I'm going to give... Okay, so you know what? When I write this blog next week on my newsletter, I'm going to be giving some serious people some major plugs on in this podcast.
Oh, good.
First plug, Cathay Airlines.
Amazing, right?
Fan-freaking-tastic airline. From call to set up, to onboarding the plane, to sitting in my seat and ready to go. The service was impeccable. People are smiling on Cathay Airlines. even my ticketing agent, like the person who was, putting my suitcases on, and she looked at me. She's like, "Ma'am, you know that your weight is overweight." I'm like, "My baggage is overweight." I'm like, "I know." She's like, "Oh, I'll let it go." I said, "It's gonna be even worse when I get back." She's like, "Well, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it." Because going to Asia, you could bring 2 luggages, but I think with them, the max is 70 pounds.
When you check it.
When you check it.
Got
and
it.
I had my big purple leader, my big purple suitcase, and I had my little suitcase, and it was over 70 pounds, I think.
And she was okay with it?
She was fine. She was totally
okay.
fine. She was totally sweet. So on the way to Hong Kong was a 14-hour flight, 14 hour flight.
Oh my gosh, you dear thing.
I slept the whole way.
Good for you.
It's called
probably needed it.
It's called a glass of wine and Ambien.
Perfect.
But they do feed you on these flights. And Cathay had some bomb-ass food. So that 14-hour flight kind of went really quickly. I was really shocked.
What was your favorite meal?
They served for breakfast. With the menu, you have a choice of American breakfast or you have a choice of an Asian-style breakfast. I chose the Asian-style breakfast, which was noodles and a fried egg and some chicken.
Get you prepped for
It was
being there.
bomb.
Sounds good.
It was good.
Oh my gosh. That was business class?
That was business class. Upgraded. I got an upgrade.
You didn't know that until you got there?
I didn't know that until I got there.
It was like the lottery.
It was like the lottery.
Amazing.
So got there, got into the airport, the Hong Kong airport, immaculate.
I can imagine.
Immaculate.
Like you could literally eat off that floor.
Wait until we talk about what's going on in Hong Kong, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Shame on LA, shame on New York. You get there, and so of course I had to hire a driver because I'm in Hong Kong by myself.
Oh, duh. And you're a little extra sometimes.
I had a little, I was first. W Hotels, Marriott. Hi, Marriott. Are you listening? # Marriott. And thank you, Barbara Wagner. Barbara Wagner works at Marriott. She hooked me up, and she got me a really, really great rate. So thank you, Barbara, if you're listening. At the W Hotels, I had my own driver. He picked me up in a brand new Tesla. I forgot what his name was. He was so sweet. So, broads, what I have in front of us, I'm showing Edward my pictures, and that was my driver in a brand new Tesla.
Brand new Tesla, it's beautiful.
Brand new Tesla. That was my first welcome to Hong Kong experience.
Check it out. You're in Hong Kong, and you're getting into a car made right here in California.
Hello.
Thanks,
Hi.
Elon.
But you know what? We're talking about the Chinese buying American products over there. Trust, they love it. So that was my guy picking me up, and I'm just showing pictures of the drive.
It looks very California.
You know what? It was very humid.
Yeah.
So right now we're dealing with this overcast, this June gloom. It is. So imagine that, but 95 degrees.
Yeah, 95 degrees.
Very hot in Hong Kong
right now. Oh my goodness, I bet.
Very hot. So this is the line. I'm showing Edward pictures of the line of immigration, and I thought it was going to be like an hour. It took literally like 20 minutes.
Because they're efficient.
They're efficient. America, are you listening?
Yeah.
About efficiency?
Everybody's dressed well, too.
They're very dressed well, yeah. So got in there, checked in, and was greeted immediately with the concierge at the W Hotel. And the customer service, again, was impeccable at the W Hotel. You already smelled roses. You smelled not really perfumey, but the hotel was pristine. You go in the lobby, you got to go up a few levels, and my view was the view of Kowloon Bay. Kowloon Bay.
Wow.
Fantastic.
It looked amazing. I saw your photos and I was gagging.
I had a corner room, and I couldn't believe the view I got. This is my room view.
And boys and girls, she was on the 112th floor.
That was the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, that's the Ritz-Carlton. I'm sorry.
In the W, I was on the 19th floor.
On the 19th floor. It looks like it's a lot higher than that.
Yeah. I'm now showing Edward the view of the pool.
Wow, it looks like a museum piece.
Yeah, it was a rooftop pool at the W Hotel, and because I checked in at 7 o'clock in the morning, my room wasn't ready. So what they do for guests, because they're used to guests coming in on these crazy hours in Hong Kong.
You never know.
They never know when the guests are coming in. So they actually had these spa facilities available for me.
Oh, very nice.
So after a 14-hour flight, I want to take a shower. I feel gross.
Sure.
And sitting in a plane, I don't care how clean the plane is. Planes are just dirty.
They're nasty.
You're breathing people's same air. People are sneezing on you, breathing on you. You just feel gross when you get off the plane. And so I definitely wanted to take a shower.
I would have done the same thing.
So I had my luggage with me. The valet was super nice. I had used the spa facilities. The pool was gorgeous. Went in the pool, did some laps, had some breakfast. They served me breakfast up there. Just amazing. And I was tired. So because, now you're on Hong Kong time, I'm not going to go take a nap now.
Right.
So I stayed up. So who knows how long I really was up from the day, physically from the time I landed to the time I went to bed. But I worked out. I went swimming. I had breakfast. I got dressed up. My room wasn't ready, so I took a little drive to town.
As you should have. It was just you, right? You didn't
just
have.
Me. I didn't meet up with the group
yet.
I don't know anyone in Hong Kong.
Right.
It was by myself. So yes, single black woman in Hong Kong. You're thinking, was it strange? Oh my goodness, the Hong Kong people. They didn't look at me sideways. They're like, "Oh, who are you?" They're like, "Bye."
No, not at all.
Now we're going to talk about India in a minute.
Okay.
The true dichotomy of Hong Kong
I can't wait.
and India.
Uh-huh.
In Hong Kong, because it's so highfalutin, they're getting all kinds of people in that country,
right.
in that town, from the richest to the rich, from celebrities to models. So you got all kinds of people with all kinds of looks.
And how'd they dress, basically?
Everybody,
like us?
To the T.
Yeah, but a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a city that's really highfalutin business. You got Bank of China, the biggest banks of the world.
Uh-huh.
You got Credit Suisse. You got all these huge accounting firms in China. You have you got the big government down there. A lot of government buildings there. But you have a lot of millionaires. These are people who are just set for life.
Okay, I have to ask a question. I need a little bit of an education on Hong Kong real quick. Is it Hong Kong? Like Hong Kong is within China? Or
Yes.
is it a province of China?
It's a province of China.
State of China?
It has its own money. It's Hong Kong dollars. Like Shanghai has its own currency. Macau, which was only an hour away, that's considered its own province, its own, not an own country, but its own state, if you will, if you want to call it. And I had to use my passport to go to Macau.
So, you did?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because my phone didn't even work in Macau because my AT&T plan didn't cover that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right?
Thanks, AT&T.
It covered Hong Kong.
But not Macau.
Covered India. But it didn't cover Macau because I didn't say I was going to go to Macau. So
is that a
I think it's
island?
a country. Yeah, it's an island, but I think it's its own country. Now, someone correct me if that's wrong, if I'm using the wrong island, if I'm using the wrong words, if it's a state, if it's its own country. But Macau, if I had to use my own passport to get into Macau, that means it's its own country.
It's its own country.
Right.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Tiny.
And I still, so it's Hong Kong, China?
Yeah. It's in China, but it's Hong Kong, its own government, has its own government.
See, that's what I never understood.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So is Shanghai, though.
But when you go to Shanghai, you don't have to show your passport again.
Yeah, I got to show my passport there, too.
But it's still in China.
But it's still in China.
Maybe
It's kind of confusing.
It is confusing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how America should do it.
When I'm able to take in live callers, I'm going to be like, is there a live caller that can talk us more about China?
Right. Can you just walk us through this? We need a Venn diagram, please.
I should have been more educated in the questions you're asking me, but it was hard for me to even understand when I was there.
Right. You're on vacation.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
but everybody speaks English there. They speak it's English, Cantonese, Mandarin, French, and they speak Spanish and Italian.
And what do we speak?
Only English.
Yeah.
That's why we're called the dumb Americans.
That's why they're so far ahead of us.
The dirty dumb Americans.
Anyway, I digress. I just wanted to kind of know what all that meant.
Yeah, yeah. So the hotel, W Hotel, you were fantastic. You treated me like the queen I am. And so I toured Hong Kong that day. Look at these buildings.
It looks like a gold brick.
Hong Kong. You guys will see this on the. I haven't put all my pictures yet on the Facebook fan page yet. I did put some on the abroadproductions Instagram page, but I will be writing the blog on this, and we'll show you guys more pictures on Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But Hong Kong is noted for the most skyscrapers in the world.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
I can see why.
That's an apartment building. I'm looking at a building that looks like a transformer.
It
doesn't look like a transformer.
It does look like a transformer now that I'm looking at it.
A big old hole in the middle of the building, and these are condos that are millions and millions of dollars.
Unbelievable.
Millions of dollars. So I have a 1,000 square foot apartment that I have. So my apartment in Hong Kong would be about $6 to $7 million.
Insanity.
We thought LA was insane with real estate, or San Francisco was insane, or New York was insane.
Right.
Hong Kong's
out of control.
Out of control.
That's why they're buying all the properties here.
Yeah. There's all those developers in Hong Kong. So that was my first day, and then my second day, I was so exhausted. Now the jet lag was kicking in.
Right.
The second day, I just toured the town. I went and did the hop on, hop off bus.
Oh yeah, okay.
All big cities. When you guys start traveling, I do some cheesy stuff. I love to be a tourist.
Oh, me too.
So I will go and take a hop on, hop off. I did that in Paris. I did that in Greece. I did that in Italy. It's just so much fun. It's a double-decker bus.
Right.
You put your little earphones on, and you take the little stops in the cities that are really pinpointed cities. Now, I did take an Uber. Mm-hmm. Uber there, hashtag Uber, are you listening? You're the bomb in Hong Kong.
Really?
Problem with Hong Kong Uber, though, they're not insured.
They're not? Mm-mm. So when you get in it, you're on your travel insurance or something?
You're on your travel insurance. You're taking basically a leap of faith.
Wow. I mean, meaning that
It's very controversial. Uber is not like Uber in the United States. The drivers in Uber are not insured. Now, again, this is what I was told.
That's interesting.
That's why the taxis are still very competitive in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously cheaper than an Uber. But the Uber drivers that I had in Hong Kong, the cars were like a BMW.
Oh, right.
This was a regular Uber. This is not the fancy black the XL Uber.
Right, that's like the base.
This is the base.
That's the Corolla.
The base car in Hong Kong was a BMW or an Infiniti or a Mercedes.
Wow.
I'm telling you, people are just ridiculous.
Crazy rich Asians.
Crazy rich. I gotta watch that movie. Did you watch that movie?
Oh my God, it's so funny.
My brother read the book. He said the book was obviously a lot better than the movie. So I gotta read that. Mm-hmm. Crazy Rich Asians is not a lie. It's really, really true. So I did the hop on, hop off bus, and then I was exhausted and I couldn't keep my eyes open, and unfortunately I took a nap.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Wait, on the bus or when you
went back to the bus.
You woke up and you were in not
on the bus, but went back to the hotel, took a nap, and then I remember that night I just didn't want to go anywhere because I was so exhausted. I ordered room service and just called it a night.
I don't blame you. It sounds amazing.
That
sounds kind of great.
So the next day, my flight to India to meet the group was in the afternoon.
Oh, it was the next day.
The next day, it was in the evening actually.
Okay.
So I had another full day in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And again, I went to Victoria's Peak. So Victoria's Peak is a very well-known area where you can see this gorgeous landscape of all the buildings in Hong Kong and the bay. So I did that, and that was really nice. Took some pictures.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I didn't really do a lot of the food prep, a lot of the food, tasting, because again, I didn't want to get sick.
Yeah, you never know.
Well,
your body's sensitive, and
we'll talk about India in a minute.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. India's revenge.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. It makes Montezuma's revenge look like
that's what I'm saying. India's revenge
child.
is more than Montezuma's revenge. Let me put it that way. So I said goodbye to Hong Kong on the third day and flew out on Air India in India.
And tell us about that experience contrasted with Cathay. And there's no shade here.
Never again. Awful. I will never fly Air India ever again.
Yeah.
It was like equivalent to Southwest or Spirit Airlines.
Okay. No chickens or anything in the aisles?
No chickens, no. There was no pets allowed on this plane, I don't think.
Right.
I'm sorry, Air India, but I'm going to give you the tea. It was horrible. The seats were absolutely uncomfortable. It was how long was the flight? It was from Hong Kong to New Delhi. Was a 6-hour flight. My flight was at 8. I arrived in India around 12 o'clock at midnight. I was exhausted.
For reference, that is longer than it takes to fly from Los Angeles to New York.
Yeah, it was about 6.5 hours.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Mm-hmm. So imagine from LA to New York, you're going across the whole continent.
Right.
From Hong Kong to New Delhi, I was going from country to country.
And you're flying over water.
No, that's land.
It's all land?
That's land because New Delhi is on the top. Is it north of India? I forgot where.
I'm obviously geographically challenged, so.
Yeah. It's not north of India. I think it's bottom. I don't know where it is. Anyways, it took 6.5 hours to get there. So that tells you how big India is.
Yeah.
And China.
Like half of your flight.
Hi.
There. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Girl.
So, there were odors on this plane. Mm-hmm. Body odors that were just, I couldn't believe it. I don't want to talk bad about the Indian people, but let's be honest, they're not big on the deodorant.
Right, they need to get close to some soap. They do.
I'm sure they bathe, Edward. They just don't wear deodorant.
Right.
And I don't understand that. Come on, Indian people, wear some Mitchum, wear some Secret.
Right.
Let's put some deodorant on because you stink.
Right.
And
it's cultural, right?
It's cultural, and I completely didn't even think about that when I was on the plane. Like, it just hit me like a ball of, like someone socked me with BO.
And you're recirculating that odor.
Please, it was
for 6.5 hours.
The benefit of flying at night at 8 o'clock at night to New Delhi, though, that plane was half full. So I had obviously the whole road to myself.
Oh, cool.
So I was able to sleep and lay down and everything and catch up on some sleep and everything.
You were in Asia, so you have a mask?
Oh, in Hong Kong, it's just like when you see, Asians wearing masks, everybody wear masks.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I didn't wear a mask.
Yeah, right.
No.
Right.
But, black woman with blonde hair, I wasn't looked again sideways in Hong Kong. The minute I stepped into India, story over.
The show is on.
The show is on. I'm not exaggerating, you guys. I'm not exaggerating. The minute I stepped off the plane, I was probably looking all haggard. I had 4 people asking for my autograph.
No way.
The men... Okay, so we're going to get into the tea. We're going to get into the very uncomfortable tea of India.
Let's do it.
Now, I don't really mean to offend anybody in India, but I'm going to share my experience. I don't want to generalize the Indian people, the Indian men, the Indian women, or the Indian children, but I'm going to express my experience. So I do not mean to offend anybody, but this is Queen ShanShan's experience.
Got it. Take it away.
Take it away. India. I'll never go back.
Okay.
Okay? I enjoyed the cultural experience of being in a country that's thousands and thousands of years old.
Right.
Okay? This country has a lot of diverse history in terms of their royalty, the palaces, the food. But I'll never go back.
I can understand why.
And I'm going to give people my true tea here. India is one of the poorest countries of the world.
Right.
They have 1.3 billion people living there. This is also a democracy. It's a democratic country. So they vote for, they got a president, they got governors, they got mayors, they got all that stuff in their country.
So it's similar to ours.
Similar to ours.
Okay.
Where they can vote for better people to govern the government.
Okay.
But shame on them.
Oh, really?
Shame on them for keeping their people poor.
Yeah.
Because they could do a lot better.
God, yes.
The airport, 1970s, 1960s.
Was it really? Infrastructure.
Brown
terrible.
carpet. They still had they had the chairs my mom and dad would still cherish.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Your parents would be like, I love that. Love it.
Let's get it.
I want to get it.
Let's get it. It's just an old airport that is not up to par. Okay. So I'm walking down, gonna get my baggage and everything. And because when you go to India, FYI, if you guys plan on going to India, you do need a visa. Okay. So I had to do my visa 3 or 4 months ago. And it was, I forgot what I paid for it.
35 or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. I don't remember. It wasn't a lot of money. But you had to go through the consulate, the India consulate online. Right. And it was like a million questions, like making sure I wasn't in jail before, making sure who was my father, making sure my mother's name, my family name, my address, all this stuff. Had to go through that. So during the immigration, had to repeat some of those things. And I couldn't go and look at because he was holding my visa and he was asking me questions, but obviously he was looking at me up and down thinking that was somebody special too.
Like interrogation style or just like nicely? Nicely,
but he was nice. I'm going to be honest. He was nice. He wasn't disrespectful.
Got it.
But he was asking me a million questions that was on my visa.
And you're tired. And
I'm tired. It's 12:30 in the morning.
Right.
I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Because I had to meet the group literally 5 hours later. 6 hours later. 7 o'clock we had to be ready for breakfast.
Oh, no, ma'am.
So here I am, a little grouchy. I'm tired. And I'm like, yeah. Go through that, and then I see these ladies, and they're sorries, and they're just eyeing me. And we were in immigration, so you can't use your camera. But they were like wondering who I was. Like, who are you? They were tapping me. No, okay, here we go. When you violate someone's space, that's a problem for me.
Right.
If you're 2 feet of my space, Americans, we always about our space. Like
we're
if
worried
you're
about our space.
2 feet from my breath, you're too close to me.
Close talkers.
So they're touching me and they're tapping me on my shoulder. I'm in the line of immigration. So it was just unusual to have all this attention. You know, again, black woman with blonde hair in India. People thought it was somebody special.
A celebrity, yeah.
A celebrity.
Yeah.
That was the first night. Okay.
Okay.
So the guy picked me up at the hotel. It was super sweet. At the airport, took me to the hotel. Our hotel was like maybe 15 minutes away. It was super close.
Super close.
Awesome.
Great.
Checked in the hotel. It was called the Pride Hotel in India.
Okay.
It was okay.
Go Pride.
Hey, Pride! Go Pride! It's Pride Month. That's right. Pride Hotel India, New Delhi, and it was decent. It was a nice room. It was okay.
Like equivalent to like a Hilton.
Yeah, there you go.
A Hilton,
and
like
not to put down
a low model Hilton, because Hilton owns the Waldorf Astoria. So
yeah, they do.
Kind of level.
They sure do.
You know, like a base level.
It was
Hilton.
a base level Hilton.
Okay, got it.
It was clean. It was near the airport. It was what we needed to get to acclimate and to get the group together. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So it was actually I took an Ambien. I went right to sleep. Okay.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up and then I met the group for breakfast. Everybody said, "Hey, Shannon, how you doing?" And that was the start of our excursion in India.
And these are people that you knew.
Some of them are repeaters. Some of them are repeaters. Some of them are brand new. There's
Okay.
44 people in our group. It was a big group.
Some you knew, a lot you didn't.
Right. Some I think I knew about 10 of the people out of the 44 people.
That's nice. That's kind of comforting.
So the first day we started traveling, and we went to went to a palace, and we went to another type of other palace, and we were on our way on a 5-hour journey to Jaipur.
A 5-hour journey. And you weren't staying the night? You're going back?
No, we're on our way to Jaipur. 5 hours.
So you're going to stay
Jaipur,
there.
I should say. They pronounce it Jaipur.
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 You're going to stay in Jaipur?
Yes.
Okay, good.
For 2 nights.
Okay, got it.
Okay. It was a 5-hour bus ride. Now, the bus, they claimed, was 3 years old.
300 years old.
300 years old.
Rattling. It's like a rat trap, just like...
When you get off, this is what I totally forgot to say. India was 116 degrees.
No, ma'am.
So LA in California, like I said a few minutes ago, is we're dealing with the June gloom.
Uh-huh.
So you guys imagine you were in Atlanta, Georgia, in the middle of August.
Mm-hmm.
No breeze.
None.
10 times more.
10 times more.
That's India.
Humidity and all.
Humidity. You're standing outside for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden the beads of sweat is just down my head. So I brought 4 wigs for this trip. I didn't wear any wigs this whole entire trip.
Not one wearing.
Not one wig.
Don't blame you.
Oh, God. It's too hot.
Possibly put a wig on.
It's too hot. It's too freaking hot. I'm dying. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Wow.
India is exactly what you imagine it to be.
Yeah, and
it's desolate, except for obviously New Delhi is the big city. Mumbai,
right.
New Delhi I think boasts 22 million people. Mumbai boasts I think 30 million people in the city. In a city.
In a
Edward,
city.
In a city.
And that's
Calcutta,
packed in,
Calcutta,
right?
I think boasts 15 million people. So we're on the way out of the city, and the traffic is disgusting. It's disgusting. No one knows about red lights and green lights. I don't know why they have white lanes painted on the floor, on the ground.
Are there like rickshaws mixed in with cars too?
They're rickshaws are what's the word I'm looking for? They're the tuk-tuks.
A tuk-tuk.
Yeah, but motorized tuk-tuks. So a tuk-tuk is like a little passenger car. The guy's riding a motorized car, and there's 2 people who can ride in the back.
Oh, yes.
So imagine you got your regular cars, plus the tuk-tuks, plus people riding bikes, plus people on mopeds. People are driving 4 people at a time on these mopeds. With the children.
What?
So the children are maybe 2 or 1 years old, and they're in the back or the front of the bikes, and the mom and dad are in the middle.
Holy moly. Are you kidding me?
On busy-ass freeways. That they don't do turn signals. These people are 2 cars in 1 lane. They're swerving. Oh, it was a nightmare. I could never drive in India. I would die. I'd be dead.
Yeah. Are there people in the street selling stuff too?
Yes.
Like in the freeway.
Yes,
yeah, or the quote-unquote freeway.
Yes, Edward, yes. It is like It's 3D. It's like watching a 3D movie, and you're obviously in the 3D movie, and you're like, oh, you can't look. So when you're in the bus, most of us had our curtains drawn because we didn't want to see the traffic.
Was there AC on the bus?
Thank God there was,
Thank
but
the
it
Lord.
wasn't the best.
Right. It was something.
It was something, but when it's 116 degrees, you stop off the bus, you get back on the bus, it takes that bus to get cool again. So I had my fan, everybody's sweating for a good 10 or 15 minutes when we get back from the bus.
Oh my God.
This bus was not 3 years old. This bus was 300 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? Got to stop complaining. Thank you, India. It was wonderful. So we go and see a couple of forts, couple of palaces.
What is this one? The steeple.
Edward is looking at a picture I took of this palace that was about 500 years old, and it was built. It was on the way to Jaipur. It wasn't Jaipur, but it was in Jaipur, and it was good. It was cool. It was
very Islamic.
It's very Islamic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about the Indian people that Buddhism and Hinduism is Hinduism is the major religion in India, but the second is Muslim
and then Christianity, I guess.
And Christianity.
And then,
not Christianity,
so
a lot of Christianity.
Not a lot?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a lot. So, an interesting one of the temples we saw, or one of the palaces,
swastikas?
Has swastikas.
What?
So this is where my education was floored. Swastikas in India mean progression and peace.
Oh, okay. So it's definitely
But
a cultural
unfortunately, the Germans in the 1930s and Hitler made it into a sign of hate.
As a counter movement.
So the swastikas around the world are also known as peaceful signs.
Oh, I didn't know
that.
But
the Germans, the Hitler's time, made it a sign of hate and the Aryan race.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So when we saw this, I was like, what, swastikas on an Indian building?
Right.
And our guide, his name was Singh. He was amazing. He was with us. He had 4 handlers for us. He had 4 personal handlers for us for the trip.
That's nice.
And he was telling us about the significance on the swastikas. That was really interesting.
Did you fear, like, when you were stopping at these any of these places, because you see so much of it on the news and so much going on in the world right now, were you ever scared about, like, terrorism or anything?
No. And even India is now noted as the #1 rape country in the world, unfortunately. I didn't feel the terrorism fact. I definitely felt the intimidation of the men.
Oh, really?
The men look at you up and down.
They do.
Well,
the women.
The women and the men look. Well, they first of all looked at me. Me and Julie, who was one of my passengers on the trip. She's tall. She's 6 feet, red-haired woman.
Okay.
Beautiful. So they were stopping her thinking she was a celebrity too.
Oh,
so
wow.
you see both of us together.
Right.
We were stopped at all the excursion places. People wanted to take pictures of us. People wanted to see. It was really, really. Now I know what Beyonce and Madonna go through.
Right.
It really was. It really was a little overwhelming.
And what would you do? Would you accommodate them?
Of course I did.
Okay, of course.
I'm not going to be rude.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea where these pictures are. I could be on a porn site for all I care. I don't know. The Indian porn site. I slept with this woman. Who knows?
Right.
But it was a constant, can we take a picture of you? And then also, when we're eating lunch or dinner, people would also pretend that they weren't taking pictures of us. So when you go in, let's just say we saw, let's say I saw Justin Timberlake at a restaurant.
Right. Okay,
and I'm
you're
trying to pretend I'm not taking a picture, but I was.
Right.
That's what they were doing to me and Julie.
Really?
So when we would walk by, they would pretend to take a picture of themselves, but they were taking pictures of us.
Would they be like, acting like they're fixing their
hair? They were
hair,
acting like they were fixing their hair, but they were taking pictures of.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the passengers, people within the group, were all Shannon, they were taking pictures of you. I'm like, they were? Like, yeah, some kids were taking pictures of you. And I'm like, oh my God, how funny.
Beyonce.
Yeah, I was,
Beyonce has arrived.
I was wig-on-say.
Wow.
It was a very interesting experience, but the men in India, they don't respect women. The women walk 3 to 4 feet behind them.
Okay.
That's what I did not like. Wow. I'm sorry, you're walking 3 or 4 feet behind me.
Sure.
Okay.
Of course, time is up.
And the women are very meek. They're very meek. They're
Mm-hmm.
very humbled, the women.
Yeah.
And they don't speak until they're spoken to. Hello. I ain't gonna fare here.
Beautiful women.
Gorgeous women.
Beautiful women.
And their saris, the reds and the colors and the purples of these outfits were phenomenal.
Right.
Phenomenal. But the end part, the sad part is when we would get off the bus and go to a new destination, there'd be about 4 or 5 children begging for money.
Oh, yeah.
A woman holding her naked child in this 116-degree blistering heat.
And you got to ask
begging
yourself,
for money.
is that real or is it an act?
All real.
You know?
All these kids were filthy.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's worse than,
Heartbreaking.
going to Mexico, you got people begging for money in Mexico and selling their trinkets.
Right.
It's more aggressive in India where they follow you.
Well, I'm sure.
So I had to literally, with my fan, scare them off with my fan, that noise,
Really?
to get them off my back. They're very aggressive in India, selling their vendors. The men do not, and I hate to say this, I don't want people calling at me and saying I'm being offensive. This is, again, my experience. I can't speak on Joe Smith's experience or Jane Smith's experience. This is Shannon's experience. The men that I've experienced in India were rude.
They were rude.
They were rude.
Well, I think it was a guest that we had before. It was Michelle.
That's right. Michelle said that.
She said that they don't like
care for women.
Yeah.
And it was apparent. Now I can totally attest to that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's because I'm a black woman or I'm just a woman, period, but a lot of the girls on the trip experienced the same type of hostility. When you're I called these 2 guys out. I was in the elevator. It was in Jaipur, and these guys were staring at me, and of course I had to talk shit. So I looked at them and I said, you know what? If you're looking at me like this, say that I'm this or say that I'm that, but stop staring at a woman. You know I embarrassed them. And they looked the other way. And I'm like, look the other way or take a picture. I was over it.
Crack.
Cracked. I cracked their faces. They were so embarrassed that I called them out on it. Because
because they've never been called out as a culture.
They've never been called out. Mm-mm. They are looking at you. It's not a look of disgust, Edward. It's a look of, who do I think that I am?
I was gonna say that exact.
Because
words.
I'm not slouched. A lot of the women are very they cower. So they have that presence of not standing straight like me. I'm always standing straight. I'm always correcting my own posture. And so that comes off intimidating, I guess. And the men in India, or the men that I came across, didn't like that.
They didn't like that at all. They're like, no.
The vendors, when I kept saying no, they're like, ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. I'm like, get away, go away. Because they became like, oh God, I hate to use the word. They were like fleas.
Oh, of course they were.
You tried to just shoo them away.
Right. And they kept coming back.
They kept coming back.
Yeah.
Buy this. I give you good price. I give you good price. I give you good price. I'm like, I don't want a good price.
You don't need that or want that.
Get the hell out of
or,
my face.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
Right.
So, but one day, on the way, when we were in Jaipur, we went to this amazing textile manufacturing company, and I bought these great homemade textiles.
You should see them.
I got you one.
She did get me one.
I got you this custom-made cashmere, 100% cashmere stuff.
It is beautiful. This is like, it looks like Burberry next season. You know, it's just like amazing. I've never touched anything that's all before my life.
The textiles are incredible.
Amazing. It must be above 15,000 feet. Those cashmere sheep that they got it from.
I don't know.
Because that's where the best cashmere comes
Is that
from.
what it is? I have no idea the history
amazing.
of sheep.
Feels
But
amazing.
it was great. It was that day was awesome because we got to go shopping. I spent sick money. I got my mom an outfit. Got me a couple outfits.
Oh my gosh.
I got my friends some scarves. But
beautiful.
That was cool. So we went to the Amber Fort. Amber Fort was this, again, 500-year fort that has a palace, this glass palace that the royal family lived in. It was really hard to understand the interpreter because he had such a huge, thick accent.
Okay.
So a lot of the words were lost. And
Okay.
I didn't get the true history.
True meaning
but
of
I can
it.
just look it up.
Right.
Amber Fort and Google
absolutely.
Amber Fort. So that was our day in Jaipur. It was, again, 116 million degrees. And then, of course, the next couple days we took other places, other palaces. And then
I want to hear about it. The TM.
The Taj Mahal.
Is that the initials, I guess? Did I get that right? Taj Mahal?
Taj Mahal.
Okay.
Taj Mahal is in Agra, so that was another 4.5-hour bus ride.
Holy moly.
We were in Jaipur for 2 days. Then we packed our stuff and we went to Agra.
Okay. That's in Agra.
That's in Agra. Good
And
God.
so what did we think of the TM?
Absolutely amazing, gorgeous, wonderful. You walk through these gates, and I have it videotaped, and you guys will see that in the blog. I taped us walking through the gates and seeing the whole. It was like the angels were singing.
The angels are singing.
And it was this gorgeous statuesque 400, 500-year building. It was built in the 16th century.
The Taj Mahal was?
Yeah,
Oh,
the 16th or 15th century.
Okay.
Again, don't quote me on it. It was old. It's older than me. It's older than me.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was built for love. The prince who built this palace, because he loved this woman so much, built it for his wife.
It was a whole new world.
Yeah.
A whole new world.
That's Aladdin. That's Middle East.
Sort of the same. They have marionettes. Is that what they are? The little.
These towers, like you're looking at, it's all this marble that was built in, that was brought in, I think, from Europe. Back at that time it wasn't called Europe,
right?
But they brought a lot of the stone from up there. So imagine you're in 15th, 16th century, not the kind of tools we have now, not the type of engineering we have now, and they built this amazing seventh world spectacle. It's the seventh wonder of the world.
Seventh wonder of the world.
The Taj Mahal.
Okay.
For a reason.
Right.
Because there's nothing like that on Earth.
It's
nothing like that.
It looks massive.
Of all the palaces we visit in India, nothing compared to the Taj Mahal.
I bet.
So that was our pinnacle visit of India. India was never on my schedule, was never on my bucket list.
Right.
But now I can officially cross it off.
Yeah, you can just check it off.
I'll never go back.
Did it, not going back.
Did it, never going back. So, amongst all this, we were all excited to go to the Maldives.
Right.
That was our next excursion.
Is that where we're taking off to now?
We're taking off to the Maldives.
Is that by jet?
That was by plane, not by jet. By Air India again.
Back when Air India. Okay.
Air India.
Air India.
Awful. We flew from New Delhi. We spent one more night in New Delhi. We went from New Delhi to Bengaluru, another place that I'll never visit ever again. Just the smog and the haze was just so gross.
I bet.
The air quality. It said, even on the weather app, air quality not appropriate or something like that. Not advised.
Not advised.
Not advised.
We've been having that on our weather thing on our...
Oh, here in LA?
Yeah.
That says not advised. Like, don't go out and play because the weather quality is... Yeah. Well, imagine that with no wind. In India. That was how the whole India was like the whole time. Hong Kong was too. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Hong Kong, the air quality in Hong Kong
stifled
was
there.
so stifling. It was hot. You're just sweating constantly. I had to take showers 3 times a day. That's how bad it was.
Jesus.
But when I wake up, get to the excursion, get back to the hotel, take a shower, go to dinner because you're outside, and then take another shower to go before you go to bed. That's how much you shower. Like, I was the cleanest this whole entire trip.
Right.
I did not smell. I didn't stink. I don't think I did. I had to apply all kinds of deodorant the whole time. Anyways, on our way to paradise.
Can't wait to hear about it. Take me there.
Maldives is exactly what you imagine.
It is paradise.
It's a desert paradise. We went into the airport, got fixed up there. It was a 45-minute ferry ride to our island.
Okay, so you flew how far?
From Bengaluru to Maldives is only like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Not bad at all.
Okay, not bad at all.
Excuse me while I burp. Sorry, boss. But it was an hour and a half flight, and we get to the Maldives. We were treated so well the minute we got to the Maldives. Completely different than India. No one's staring at me. No one's treating me weird.
Is it India country?
It's in the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
But these are the Maldivian people.
Okay.
So they're the whole country. It's a whole different country.
Got it. Okay.
But a lot of people from Bangladesh, India, Saudi Arabia, a lot of people work in Maldives.
Okay.
They got money.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
Our hotel was fantastic. And believe it or not, it was the Holiday Inn.
It was?
This is where the misconception of the Holiday Inn is.
Oh, yeah.
The Holiday Inn in America, not that great.
Not so great.
Hashtag Holiday Inn, are you listening? But the Holiday Inn internationally, whole different ball of wax.
Get out the way.
My hotel room, my beach villa, ridic.
Was it really? Holiday
Redunk.
Inn. Go Holiday Inn.
Go Holiday Inn in Maldives.
That's amazing.
Because we got there, we had our own freaking island. My beach villa was 50 feet from the water.
Oh my God, amazing.
I had an outside shower.
Oh wow, did you really?
Oh my God.
I would have never put on clothes.
The shower experience was fantastic. It was fantastic. Outside. And it was hotter than hell in Maldives, too.
I'm sure it was. I would have been in
Hotter
the
than
water
hell.
naked the whole time. Naked.
You're just in the water. So I canceled all of my excursions in Maldives because I just didn't want to go anywhere. I just wanted to lay on the beach and drink.
That's what I would have done. Why would you do anything else?
I couldn't even get drunk. That's how hot it was.
Because
you're sweating out the impurities. I didn't get drunk in Italy, in India
Sure.
or Hong Kong because you're sweating out the impurities.
Yeah.
So here
That's
I'm
why
drinking.
they drink so much in those cultures,
Okay,
probably.
but you know, I didn't want to drink also in India because I didn't want to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Let's go back to the India's revenge. I did get the poops.
Oh, you did.
So thank God I had Cipro with me.
Oh, clogged you right back up.
Oh, it was awesome. I'm so glad I bought that.
Yeah,
I bought medicine. I bought typhoid medicine. I took 2 weeks before the trip.
Mm-hmm.
I bought malaria medicine just in case. I bought a Z-Pack and I bought the Cipro.
Oh, wow.
And Cipro cut that pooter right up in a day.
Good to go.
Because I had the runs.
Good to go back in the water without the fish following you, right?
Thank God, because everybody was sick. Everybody got sick on the trip. Everyone had some serious stomach issues from India.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. I'm going to talk about that next week with Arnell because he's a doctor, and our culture and how we eat, we're actually poisoning ourselves with all these non-gluten-free foods. We really should be eating gluten.
Yeah.
You know, it's not hurting the Indian people. It's definitely not hurting people in Hong Kong.
Right.
All they do is eat gluten.
Right.
But we're taking all these gluten-free foods and pastas, and we're making ourselves sicker.
Right.
So our bodies and our bacteria is not used to these troubles. So when people go to to China or they go to India, they go to these a lot of places, they get sick.
Oh my gosh. I got a whole thing about that gluten thing.
Right.
Talk about that.
So
later.
I'm glad that cleared it up. But Maldives, absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We went snorkeling, swimming. We had all these amazing facilities at the hotel. The food was fantastic. Had steak dinner. Had this amazing, wonderful highfalutin dinner. The hotel had its own 3 restaurants, buffet breakfasts that would put Las Vegas buffets to shame.
To shame, really?
To shame.
Really?
The hotels, all these places that we stayed in, breakfast is always included. Okay. So they're huge buffet laid out breakfasts.
So literally you could stock up a breakfast and not have to eat all day.
Right. You just take a little sandwich, make a little sandwich to go.
Yeah.
And some people did that. I would do that. Well,
Absolutely.
our lunches were included in India.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I got sick of buffet, so I just ordered a la carte because I wanted to really be careful what I was eating.
Oh, sure.
No one in India wanted to eat fresh fruit or fresh salad because they didn't want to drink the water. So a lot of us ate nothing but starches. So imagine that's why people got diarrhea.
Yeah.
Because we were eating a lot of carbs.
Right.
Okay. A lot of rice, a lot of noodles.
I would have probably
a lot
done
of
the same
meat.
thing.
Lots of meat, lots of lamb and
stew meat,
stews, chicken, but not lamb, and
not shrimp or anything like that. You didn't have seafood.
Oh God, no, we don't want seafood.
Mm-hmm.
I had seafood in Maldives. That was fine, but I did not want to have seafood in India.
I wouldn't have anything to do with it.
No,
no way.
One lady on our group was sent to the hospital for 12 hours.
Holy moly! For what?
She met us up 3 days later. She was so sick.
Oh my God!
She had food poisoning.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So she missed 3 days of the trip.
What was the highlight of all of it?
Okay, well, after the Maldives, again, that was the pinnacle trip, okay? And then I went back to Hong Kong for 2 more days. And
that's right.
I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh.
If the W treated me so right, the Ritz-Carlton was beyond. I got greeted by this amazing, gorgeous guy, Michael. He was my greeter at the Ritz-Carlton. That was also videotaped to put that on Facebook.
I saw that. He was from Switzerland, right?
Yeah, he's from Zurich.
Zurich.
I got to go to Zurich.
Did you get a Rolex from him? I'm shopping for one.
He was gorgeous, and he was so kind, and I was like, good God, he could be my son. He was like 22, 23 years old.
Right.
But he was on a work visa working in Hong Kong.
Oh, cool.
He's getting his hospitality master's degree.
And tell us what floor you were on again.
In Ritz-Carlton, I was staying on the 112th floor.
Okay, folks, for those that don't know building heights... Okay, so the Twin Towers, God rest her soul, they were 101 or 110 floors, I think. Is this, are they 101 or 110?
I think 104?
104, something like that, in that range, 104
we
to
should
110.
have Googled that and looked that up.
Yeah, so that's 2 iconic buildings. They were two of the most tallest buildings in the United States.
Right.
This is a hotel.
This is a hotel. Now, the hotel wasn't the whole 112 floors.
Right.
They occupied, I think, 10 of the floors, and the rest of the building was by Bank of China, Credit Suisse, and some huge accounting firms in China. But they occupied most of the building. But on the bottom floor of the building was all the highfalutin malls. And the mall that was called Elements. And you had your Montclair, your Gucci, your Versace, all the
all of our friends, basically.
All of our friends.
Yeah.
All of our good friends.
Yeah.
And Shannon took a part of that shopping.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Okay, so the Ritz-Carlton, thank you, Michael, for treating me so well. Thank you, Ritz-Carlton, for treating a queen like a queen. My room was fantastic. The room service was fantastic. I also went, while my day there, my 2 return days there, I went to check out Macau.
Okay.
And the gambling is not like Vegas. I mean, they have a Wynn there, they have a Venetian, they have an MGM Grand in Macau. But I didn't understand the game, so I didn't gamble.
Right, I wouldn't either.
But I definitely went shopping.
Of course.
So I spent an evening in Macau, and then the next day I went to Hong Kong Disney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Look
that
at
was
you.
fantastic.
Was it immaculate? I'm sure. Like they're already immaculate here, but there it's another level.
Do you when you go to Disneyland here in Anaheim, do you still see gum in the streets?
Probably, yeah. I guess you do.
No such thing in Hong Kong Disney. No such thing as dirt on these sidewalks. You literally can eat off the streets in Disneyland. The bathrooms, there was always either 3 or 4 attendants in the bathrooms at Disneyland cleaning a spittle or a drop of water on the toilet or on the sinks. Immaculate condition, Disney. Hands up, Hong Kong Disneyland. Hands up. I'm giving it to you. So Disneyland in Hong Kong is quite smaller than your Anaheim Disneyland or your Walt Disney World in Florida. Mm-hmm. They have Adventureland. They have Tomorrowland. They have the Small World, but it's a lot smaller. But I'm gonna be honest, the people who work at Disneyland obviously a lot nicer too.
Our Disneyland.
No, our Disneyland in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Oh, in Hong Kong, they're nicer there.
Nicer, so much nicer.
And they're already so nice here, so it's just like
Well,
they're not even
nice here.
nicer there.
Yeah, they're nice here. It's so different in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
they really
it's a
cater to
cultural, like,
the
service
tourists.
country.
It's a service country.
Yeah.
So they cater to. I mean, the Disneyland was just immaculate. They had this new feature there called the Lion King show, and it made me cry. It was amazing. Everything was wonderful. And like me being by myself at Disneyland, I thought I'd be alone.
Yeah.
I was not. Everybody was still friendly there to me.
They were great.
I didn't eat a lot because the food was kind of funky.
Yeah, I saw. You saw.
Yeah, they had a chicken glazed thing on a stick. It looked like a fried rat.
Right, I remember seeing that. I was like, oh. I was like,
And they had fish balls as a snack, and then they had some of them. They did have a churro.
Oh, they did.
I
Okay.
took partake at 2 churros, and I had a hot dog. That's all I had in Disneyland in Hong Kong, because nothing else looked appetizing to me.
Yeah.
It didn't look really good. But they had a special tea there. I had the tea. They had their little electric parade, and they had some other parades. It was great. I left there. I got there around at 11 o'clock in the morning. It was pouring down rain. The rain stopped. It was hotter than hell. And then I left at 8:30, got home at my hotel at 9 o'clock, went to bed.
Wow. And then you were coming back to America.
And then I came back the next day. My flight was at 4 o'clock the next day. Got home exhausted. So FYI, you guys, if you guys ever go to Asia, my jet lag has been insane.
Mm-hmm.
It has been insane. This is the worst jet lag I've ever had in my life. I almost fell asleep at the wheel the other day because I was so tired.
Right.
And now I've been home for about officially a week now, and I'm still jet lagged.
What isn't there a formula for every time zone? It takes a day to get back on your time zone.
So what does that mean?
So it's 14 hours ahead there.
It's 15 hours
15
ahead.
hours, so
Yeah.
it's going to take you 15 days to not be jet lagged anymore.
There you go then. Then I'm screwed. I have another
week.
I have another freaking week then because I'm exhausted. Like after this podcast, I'm hitting that pillow.
Yeah. I know that I told you that when I did that study abroad in Seoul, in South Korea, and I came back, it was the worst.
Yeah,
I
it's the
fought it
worst.
for weeks.
It's the worst.
Yeah, so good luck with that.
So overall, my trip to Asia was fantastic. I mean, I'm never going back to India. I had my issues with India. But you know what? If you guys want to go, there's a lot of people who go just for yoga learning and yoga training and being spiritual. Yes, you have lots of all the spiritual facilities and the ashrams, you want to call it. Go there. But I will never go there again. But you know what? I'll definitely go back to the Maldives, and I'll definitely go back to Hong Kong.
Well, I definitely enjoyed hearing about it.
Thank you.
Where are we off to next?
We are off to, in the fall, I'm not going to say the dates, but in the fall, we are off to Turkey and in Egypt.
Woo, Lord.
And I'm already planning that right now.
You're going to love it.
I cannot wait.
I cannot wait.
I
to
can't
hear
wait.
about
But
your.
this summer, we're going to have some mini trips, some little mini weekend trips, and I'll be talking about those
Oh, I
little
can't wait.
excursions too.
Yeah, I'll have a few here and there too, dabbed in.
Yeah.
Local trips.
So that's the tea on my Asia trip. The Madonna Minute. Yes, we are back with the Madonna Minute. And Edward, what's the tea on our match?
Yes, there's been a lot happening since you've been gone.
Okay.
Since you've been gone.
Okay.
That's the wrong artist.
That's the wrong artist.
Kelly Clarkson. So Madonna's got a new album coming out in the next week. Is it going to be? It's a week away.
It's a week
now.
away.
Tomorrow. From tomorrow.
From the 14th?
14th.
Yeah.
It drops the following Friday. So the New York Times, actually, it's a New York Times Magazine article that was just written and published yesterday in the New York Times about Madonna's, kind of life. And this reporter, I read most of the article, and it was a pretty good article, but it painted Madonna more of a matronly type figure, meaning that she lives in a ivory tower, and everything is hunky dory basically in her life. And she came back on Instagram, I think today, and
Yes.
you want to read it?
Yes. This is what Madonna said on Instagram. Madame X on the cover of NYT magazine, photographed by my dear friend at JR, also sharing my fave photo that never made in it, along with pre-shoot chat and celebratory glass of wine after many hours of work. To say that I was disappointed in the article would be an understatement. It seems you can't fix society and its endless need to diminish, disparage, or degrade that which we know is good, especially strong, independent women. The journalist who wrote this article spent days and hours and months with me. I can't imagine.
I can't either.
And was invited into a world which many people don't get to see, but chose to focus on trivial and superficial matters such as the ethnicity of my stand-in or the fabric of my curtains, and never-ending comments about my age, which would never have been mentioned if I had been a man. Work, Madonna, honey, work. Women have had a really hard time being the champions of other women, even if they are posing as intellectual feminists. I'm sorry I spent 5 minutes with her. It makes me feel raped. And yes, I'm allowed to use that analogy, having been raped at age 19. Further proof that the venerable NYT is one of the founding fathers of the patriarchy. And I say, death to the patriarchy, woven deep into the fabric of society. I will never stop fighting to eradicate it.
That's some strong words.
That's some strong words for a liberal magazine.
Yeah, to bat back against that, the New York Times, and from one of the most liberal women, in the world.
Hello in the world.
So, I won't finish the article, but it was just, I thought it was a good article, the first half of it.
Okay.
But I can, after I read her, Instagram here, I can see where she's coming from.
So, because she did, you said the author did, you confirmed that the author did say that this is a 60-year-old woman saying this, that she kept saying
mentioned
her age.
60 a lot. Even way halfway through the article or more, it's like Madonna, 60, at this age. And I'm like, what?
Would they do that to George Clooney?
No.
Would they do that to Tom Cruise?
No. And the article is titled Madonna at 60.
Would they do that to Prince if Prince was still alive? No, they would not.
No.
So you know what? That's true. There is a dichotomy. There is a hypocriticism about that. Why do you have to mention Madonna's age 12 times in an article?
Not needed.
Once is enough.
Yes.
Everybody gets it. She's an older woman, but she is profound. Madonna is an icon for a reason.
For a reason.
Yeah.
And she's allowed to age, y'all.
She's allowed to age. And she will continue to age, and she will continue to be amazing.
And what?
So
be the top-selling artist of all time.
Be the top-selling artist of all time. So work, Madonna. Work, Madge.
And that's
your Madonna Minute.
Boom. Queen ShanShan, I hear you have a date tonight.
Why, yes, I do. And we're actually looking for a place to eat for dinner tonight. Any suggestions?
Yes, I know the perfect place. Ma's Italian Kitchen.
Great idea. They have an amazing seared salmon plate, grilled New York steak, and also baked chicken parmigiana.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You know what? I gotta tell them Queen ShanShan sent me. Hunty! So, Edward, I wanted to bring a new segment into the show called the Wiglet.
I like a wiglet.
Do you like a wiglet?
It's like a little mini wig, right?
It's a mini wig
Okay.
with a little bit of a thought to it.
Oh, I like it.
And my thought for my Wiglet of the week is I love to share people's progression in terms of their enhancements to their to what they're doing in life. In terms of like Robert, for instance. This is a big guy, older gentleman who's doing the AIDS HIV walk run. Okay, so he posted, please donate to my site. On Facebook and on Instagram or on different types of social media, you have free friends who say, please donate for my birthday cause. Please donate to the Children's Walk or the AIDS Walk, or please donate to the Avon Breast Cancer Research. Now, I understand everybody doesn't have a lot of money.
Right.
Okay? I donate as much as I possibly can. $20 here, $2,500 here,
Yeah.
$100 here. My friends Rob and Tim, who will be on the podcast in a couple of weeks, they have a brand new movie, a web series that they're creating production.
Oh, cool.
And they're crowdfunding it.
Oh, nice.
Which means they're using a company to help build some revenue to make this production.
Okay.
And I have been sharing it across Facebook and Instagram to get awareness. And I also donated $100 of my own money because I believe into this. I believe this production is going to be amazing.
Okay, cool.
A lot of the shows that we see today is because of web series.
Right.
Okay.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
If I can be a part of that, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. So my point in being is that when you guys come across your friends who are doing donations and contributions, don't look down at it. Don't try to scroll over it. If you don't have any money, that's fine. But do your friends and family a favor by sharing it.
Right. Doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything to share, and it doesn't cost anything to put that little like on it. Because you know what? That means a lot to your friends and family. If you can only donate $5, do it. If you can only donate $10 to your friend's birthday cause on Facebook, please do it.
Doesn't take any time.
Doesn't take any time, but if you can't afford it, please do a favor to them to show that you do appreciate their efforts by sharing that link. Because when I share my links, I really would hope you guys share it too. It means a lot to me. And if I'm sharing also a friend's cause or donation or contribution, I know that they appreciate it too.
That's a great first wiglet.
So that's my Wiglet of the week.
I love it.
Edward, we had a lot to say tonight.
I know. I'm so excited that you had a great trip. It was really interesting to listen to for the first time.
I know.
Truly, it was the first time.
It truly was the first time. Thank you for listening. And I'm so glad to be back in the USA, America. Nothing's going to top this country.
Nothing can top this
We have our
country.
flaws.
Yeah, of course we
America the Great.
do.
We're
have
not perfect.
big crevices, but
We have big crevices.
we can fill them up.
But nothing's going to top our beautiful America.
Yeah.
I have to really be honest. I'm a proud American.
Right.
And I don't think I would live anywhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe Italy.
Maybe Italy.
You
That's some great
would
pasta.
live in Spain.
Spain or Italy.
Yeah. So I'll take it there.
Yeah.
But nothing else. Okay.
No, that's it.
So I'm very happy that I'm back, and I'm happy that I'm here for my family, and I'm happy that I'm safe.
Yes, we're glad you're safe.
Thank you. So thank you for listening, Bronze, and continuing to listen and subscribe to this podcast. This month is June. So what does that mean? What does it mean, Edward?
It's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month.
Have you noticed that Pride is everywhere now? Like,
God.
every ad, it's on TV. It's
Absolutely, as it should be.
like storefronts. And
I was at my club today. There was a big old rainbow in the club.
I know.
I'm like, right
Everywhere.
on Pride. We have
Everywhere.
to recognize the Pride
It has
members.
come a long way, and since last year.
Absolutely. When you go to Washington D.C., when you ever go to Washington D.C., Pride is very much appreciated in Washington D.C. Oh, it's a big deal. I wish I was there, but actually next year I want to go back to Washington D.C. It's awesome. Anyways, we're here to celebrate our LGBTQIA community during Pride Month, and we are going to have some extraordinary guests this month. Tune in to next week's show, as we will have the ultimate pleasure of having my dear friend, and when I say my dear friend, he really is my really dear friend, Dr. Arnel Carbaugh. I'm saying his last name wrong. Dr. Arnel Carbaugh. He's going to kill me.
It's Calvario.
Calvario. I'm awful with people's names. I don't know what's wrong with me. He is a world-renowned choreographer, and I'm serious, you guys look him up, world-renowned choreographer, a member of the famous dance crew Kinjaz. Now, Kinjaz was on MTV. They were on The World of Dance with J-Lo. Really renowned dance crew.
And he's a member of it?
He's a member of it.
Wow. Okay.
And also the founder of dance troupe Caba Modern.
Okay, great.
And he's a doctor.
Okay,
So he's
wait
a
to
doctor and he's a choreographer. Like Arnell, you can't stop Arnell.
So, like, if he injures his own ankle, like dancing, he can fix it right there.
He's an occupational therapist.
Even better.
Still a doctor, though.
Yep.
Be sure to stay tuned for that exciting episode, Broads. I am Queen ShanShan, and thank you for listening to Abroad.